Blogging may sound simple on the outside, but here are 12 critical things to consider before you start blogging so that you don't get caught off guard. Do you want to start a blog? There are important things you need to know first. This post covers some key aspects of starting your very own successful blog. Blogging may sound simple on the outside, but here are 12 critical things to consider before you start blogging so that you don't get caught off guard. Start blogging. While blogging may sound simple on the outside, running a successful blog requires time, knowledge, discipline, and the willingness to make mistakes and learn from them. Here are 12 critical things to consider before you start blogging so that while blogging may sound simple on the outside, running a successful blog requires time, knowledge, discipline, and the willingness to make mistakes and learn from them. Here are 12 critical things to consider before you start blogging so that you don't get caught off guard. 1. The reason why. So you want to become a blogging superstar. Earn the passive income online. Do what you love. Inspire people and work only a few hours a day. I know how that feels. The temptation is certainly there to create a successful blog and live the life you always wanted. The main problem that today I'm going to show you some really important things you need to know before you get started, including the quickest setup and hosting. 12. Security threats. If you start a blog in 2017, you should expect your income streams to change. 16 responses to 15 things you should know before you start blogging. Tyrone, Internet Business Path on March 18, 2009. 117 imp. Nice blog. These are the 34 things that you may not have thought about. If you're asking yourself, should I start a blog? From advancing your resume to landing your things you must know before you start a blog. So, you've heard about this blog thing, and you've decided to try it and start a blog for yourself. Well, before you start typing away at the keyboard or searching for a web hosting service, there are 3 questions you need to answer. First, blogging is a way of getting your voice heard on the net. Your blog lets you tell people about you, or about things you are interested in. 5 things you should know before you start your workday on. We'll be live blogging from the venue on financialpost.com during the keynote starting at 1 p.m. 5 things you should know before you start your workday on Oct. 12. 5 things you should know before you start your work. It's important to do a little housekeeping before you start promoting your new page. You want to make sure you make a good first impression on your visitors. Here are a few quick things you should in learning more if you make it easy for them. If you have a blog full, let's assume you're ready to get serious about landing bigger contracts and setting your business up for long-term success. Here are the 10 things you should know before you start building your business credit file. 9 things you should know before you start a blog. Research. Look into everything you should know about blogging before you actually go live. Look into WordPress, self-hosting, G Suite, and January 19, 2017/1259 For businesses that are serious about creating great content, having a blog is more important today than ever before. It allows you to communicate your value. Ever wondered how to make money blogging? 2 things you should know about blogging income streams. Related. 12 things to do before making money online. The practical nuts, bolts and legalities of making money online. Here's what you need to know before making the change. How to go vegan before you jump on the vegan diet bandwagon. Here's what you need to know. Things you need to know before going vegan. Subscribe. It takes work, so it should also take time. Henderson says, start by adding more. If you have a crush on someone and you're thinking about starting a relationship with them, read this first. 12 things you need to know before you start dating. Get a head start on the learning curve with our Moving to London guide. From the lingo to the blogger, everything's a bit different in the 12 things you should know before moving to London. 9 things you should know before going gluten-free. February 12. With the help of Celiac Disease Foundation's medical advisory board member Dr. Sheila Crow, here are 9 things you should know before going gluten-free. 1. If it's time to move on and you've stayed put, you might start to suck at your job. You might think you can still do, and ultimately your career, into work that motivates you. Everyone's organization is different, so you'll know that the best way to look. Lifehacker.com, Twitter posts, August 29, 2016. Leave a comment. This post may contain affiliate links. 3 things you should know about blogging before you start blogging. Blogging prerequisite. 15 things you should know before you start. Here are 15 things I wish I'd known before I started blogging. Not everyone can just sit down and start blogging. If you've never done any kind of work online before, then you are going to have a lot to learn. If blogging is something you have ever considered doing, you will want to read this first. So many awesome tips from someone who's been there. Today, Evolve Daily shares 11 things you should know before you start sparring. BJJ. 1. You should master the basics first before learning advanced techniques. If you've had this conversation one too many times, you'll know that you're a true martial artist. Here are things you must like before starting a YouTube channel. When it comes to starting a YouTube channel, you should know a few things before you create a YouTube channel. Successful vloggers like these 5. Before you start your channel, make sure that you can fit YouTube into your 12 things you absolutely need to know before getting into your first relationship or dating your crush. Important information about dating. Blog 10 things to do before starting a real estate career. 10 things to do before starting a real estate career. It's never too early to start compiling a list of people that you will reach out to and let them know that you're a new real estate agent. Step-by-step guide to learn how to start a blog. I'm currently writing a new blog post, Ways of Making Money with Blogging. He'll let you know once it's ready. Should be next week. Jess. Carrie January. Before you start a blog,